Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to coverage on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. It is preseason thunder in preparation for season number 3 of the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. Tonight is the, of course, preliminary race. We're going in the Talladega 100. 100 miles, 35 laps in this all-star battle, and even bringing in some new recruitment drivers for the upcoming season. I'm Wesley Outland. William Fligger is alongside, and William, obviously, we crowned the champion Brady LaBeouf last Monday night, and now we bring in new drivers, new vibes, and what a way to just pick up right where we left off with the championship, and now getting ready to crank up a new season for NASRA.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a fun shootout here at the high banks of Talladega. Cannot wait to see some of the new faces here as we kick off Speed Weeks, getting into this new DSR Electric series here, Wesley. It's going to be an exciting night. It's going to be a chance to get a little, have a little fun here on this preseason event.
Yeah, tonight's the Talladega 100. These drivers, again, will go 35 laps. There are no stages like we usually have in our regular events. And, again, 2 total sets of tires, 1 fast repair if need be, 75% fuel capacity. If we do have a green flag run, I do think we'll have at least 1 green flag pit stop in this race, obviously. And, again, 3 attempts at overtime if need be. It should be a quick sprint, honestly, William. Just a chance to get to know you, the new drivers, that is. Bringing in new recruitment racers, the veterans coming in here. Here's a name we've never heard before, Fred Lester, the Traxxas entry on the racetrack right now. All these drivers are getting a quick practice session, and then they peel draw for their race lineup coming up.
Yeah, it's just one of those fun scatter events, random draw for that starting position. Wesley, just a straight-out shootout here at the high banks. Here watching in these first couple laps, watch how close these drivers work together. How close can you get to that low side of the racetrack? Which side's going to be the fastest? It's going to be the high side. It's going to be the low side. Which side can work together the quickest? Because you don't have much time to even think about it here in tonight's race.
Yeah, and right now there are close to almost 30 drivers that have signed in to go for this event. Of course, again, there is money on the line. It is a bragging race, exhibition race, if you will, recruitment race, as we said when we came on the air. But, you know, there is money up for grabs. The top 3 spots will be paid money. And honestly, it's to, you know, set the tone, if you will, William Tiller, for the upcoming season with the Clash. The Clash literally starts next Monday night, and then we go right into the full bore of Daytona and the schedule and all that good stuff. By the way, if you'd like to be a part of it, contact somebody at NASRA-racing.com on social media. I know they would love to welcome you in. We got new recruitment drivers. We got new names that we've never seen before. And honestly, William, that is what this type of race is for sure.
Absolutely. We still have time to bring in new drivers. There's new teams this year. You know, last year we had some new rookies come in, whether it's in our Monday night series or Friday night series. They really hit the ground running. So just because you watch this series maybe from afar and you see these guys winning all the time doesn't mean you can't run with these guys as well. So jump on over to NASRA Racing at Facebook, at X. If you have Discord, go find us on there as well. Get in touch with last season's champion now. We can say that, Wesley, Brady LaBeouf, on all that information on how to get signed up.
Yeah, big congrats to the Louisiana driver, Brady LaBeouf. He picked up the championship last, of course, Monday night in the finale at Auto Club, and what a special race it was. And now we'll obviously get ready to reset and get ready for, again, a new season. Like, literally, there is no off time. These guys literally go right out of the season 2, and then they'll crank right back up here with this recruitment race tonight, and then move right into season number 3 as well in the coming weeks. So Adam Fligger is pushing the buttons, working on the broadcast as always. We're watching Jared Krall work his way, and a piece of debris slide across the start-finish line as well. As there goes the 64 machine we're watching of Jared Krall from winner Park, Florida. That's a new name, or at least a name that I've not called in any of my iRacing announcing endeavors. We'll see what this driver will do. Got some new names here that, again, getting the opportunity to see what it's like. They're just getting some warm-up laps in practice, and then the field will grid, and we're going to go for 35 miles here on the 2.66-mile Talladega Super Speedway. It should be a fast race, an exhibition race, William Tiller, and honestly, you gotta love Talladega. We always talk about it. I know it's a wild card. I know you never know what Talladega's going to provide, Daytona too, but man, Super Speedway racing, especially on iRacing, is just fun. It is thrilling. It is exciting, and I believe it also shows the strategy. It shows the strategy and the type of experience these iRacing competitors, e-gamers have whenever they get in the sim, when they get in the iRacing rigs, and they show their talents for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, Wesley. And I'm excited to see those new names you just mentioned. One of those names, too, here, we look at the top of that grid going past, Jacob Reeves. Now, in this series, a colleague of ours here in the NASRA 360 Racing Network, now going to race in this series full time. I'm curious to see how many waves he makes during this run.
All right, the field is set. Let's give you the starting lineup for the NASRA DSR Electric Series. Talladega 100 here, 35 laps on the pole. Adam Newton in the 19, Joey Doucette to the outside. Tyler Dittmer, the regular season champion of last year. Flanked to Jason Bridges, a new name in the 34, row 2. Row 3, Kerry Tribune and Cole Hendrickson. He was the special events winner back in the race at Daytona a few months ago. He'll start 6th. Jeffrey Johnson Jr., the 33, Fred Lester, Toyota number 8. And your top 10, Lance Miller, Chris Blanchard, that's the 21 of the 9.
Yeah, I pick it up in that 11th position with Hunter Parsons in that 15. Last year's champion, Brady LaBeouf, the boss man, in the 24, roll off 12. Starting in that 13th position, we look at that starting grid here tonight. We're looking at the 13th position of being right after Brady LaBeouf there in the 24. We're just waiting for that page to go by here in the starting lineup. Here looks like Joey Stars will start in the next row there. After Brady LaBeouf, Wesley, that starting grid here, the DSR Electric Truck Series, brand new race here tonight. We'll see if we can get that going here as that starting grid is on the screen. Wesley, we're rolling off that front stretch.
Yeah, behind Joey Stiers is Brandon Bullock, 19th. Akamai, I want to say his name correctly, Akamai Proctor in the 99, Jared Krall in the 64, Raul Meza in the Surf Pro 37, Brandon Broadfoot in the 22, Chris Kynes in 29, Steve Barnett in 42, Hunter Poston in the 58, and Ron Hunter, as well as Jason Morellas in the number 1. Of course, TJ Moore is race director. The man behind NASRA is, of course, Brady LaBeouf and Cody Knott. Adam Flieger is producer-director of the NASRA 360 Racing Network. William Tiller is alongside. I'm Wesley Outland, and we are ready to bring it to you here as what will be the lid lifter for season number 3 of the NASRA new DSR Electric Sim Series. As these drivers and these trucks get ready to roll, the lights are off on the pace truck here, and again, we'll be looking, William Tiller, for the green flag, this time by 35 laps, the All-Star race, the exhibition, if you will, before we launch season 3 for NASRA.
Yeah, let's get it rocking and rolling here tonight. Cannot wait to see this action. Who will stand out? Who will be the names that we talk about here as we start off those dual races, the clash races? Who are some of the names here that can make some waves? Looking at Jason Bridges in that 34, looking at Cole Hergensen in that 101. Who can make waves? Wesley cannot wait to start off this new season.
Ready for, again, the exhibition, the Talladega 100 here at the Talladega Super Speedway. The field awaits to work the travel. Pace truck is on the pit lane. Of course, the field awaits at the start-finish line. That's all the way going into turn number 1 off the exit of pit road. Green flag goes in the air. Adam Newton, Joey Doucette, a couple of NASRA regulars. Bring them to the green flag. We're underway here. It is not the Sim Racer Hub 275. That was last week. It's the Talladega 100. The green flag is out, and we are underway. Here as the leader is going to be Newton, leading him into turn number 1.
Absolutely. Newton on the low side of the racetrack. Tyler Dittmer in that 45 behind him there as we're just coming off of 2 here down this back stretch. You see some drivers pull out of line already. Wesley not liking that draft as we're getting up to speed into 3.
Working into that third turn, they'll climb the banking. Joey Doucette now goes to the outside of the racetrack. Doucette along with Newton. Newton down on the bottom. Here comes Dittmer. Bridges is now alongside with Miller. They are 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. And then they're up on the top of the third groove as they work their way. Coming out of turn 4 for lap number 1. Give the lap to Adam Newton. He'll stay to the bottom of the racetrack. They're slicing and dicing behind them. Doucette will make a run to the outside as they'll climb the banking going back to 1.
Moving and grooving in this race so far. Doucette still on the high side of the racetrack, although he's got some pressure, Wesley, on that low side, as Adam Newton still battling out for the lead. Tyler Dittmer up there as well. Jason Bridges, I talked about that 34 to start off this race as we have more drivers pull out of line as we're 3 wide into 3.
Looked like for a minute Steve Barnett fell bound below the bottom of the apron. He goes below the double yellow line. The field stays in tow, and now they're going to go 3 wide in the opening laps into turn number 3 and 4. Doucette now, the monkey in the middle. He's got another truck flank behind him. Another one, 2 truck links now reeling them in like bait on a hook. And here comes the cavalry storming off turn number 4. Adam Newton down to the bottom. Doucette to the middle lane. He's got the upper edge on the front nose of the truck in the spot. Give Doucette the lead in the middle as they go into 1, and they're still 3 wide in the corner.
This is my style of racing as Joey Doucette goes on the low side of the racetrack. The Joker now leads the field all by himself as we're a hornet's nest racing off of 2. We're 3 wide for that 4th or 5th position. We're 3 wide behind them as well as now Joey Doucette has some pressure down the backstretch. We're 3 wide for the lead into 3.
3 by 3 by 3. By 3, by 3, down into the corner into turn number 3 and 4. A little wiggle there for a minute by Adam Newton on the bottom of the apron. He'll wiggle there. He holds his truck together. Bridges is now up in front. He'll push to the top side of the racetrack. Here comes an out of lane. Here comes Blanchard up the middle. Blanchard to the inside. Here comes Doucette and they're crashing. Blanchard's in the wall. More trucks are trying to get away from it as they're now scampering down below the bottom of the flag stand, and they're going to get crashed as well. It all started with Chris Blanchard into the fence. Everyone else was on checkup mode, and you see a couple of other trucks scattered below the apron, below the start-finish line. Caution out here in the early going on lap number 3.
Oh, Wesley, it was bound to happen, though. You knew here at the high banks of Talladega something like this was going to happen. You can't run 3 wide for that long and not expect disaster. And unfortunately, here at Talladega, Wesley, the drivers run so tight that if one domino fall, they all fall. And here tonight, we have some of those new drivers collected in this first caution of the night.
Serve Pro caution. Good to have Serve Pro back as our entitlement sponsor for the yellow flags in our Monday night NASCAR DSR Electric Truck Series. Let's watch the replay. It all started right here in the front of the pack. Chris Blanchard in the middle. He got contact from Bridges' machine, and then when that happened, actually, William Tiller, Doucette was able to scamper away. Bridges and Blanchard get into one another. They start bonsai in the field behind them. They start checking up, and then you got some more trucks that are scattered and littered down below the bottom of the flag stand on the apron of the racetrack.
Yep, and that brings out our first caution of the night here, Wesley. That Serve Pro caution of the night. They're back on board here in the DSR Electric Series, and watch it again here down that front stretch, Wesley. And it's just one of those things, you know, one driver gets loose. You see it there on the top side of the racetrack, that entanglement that happens, and then all of that is just it's just the after effect of that pile up here down the front stretch.
So we go under the yellow flag. Of course, remember, so these drivers do have a fast repair. A fast repair is an option. I don't know if it's a good idea, though, William, to use it this early in the race, though.
Yeah, that's usually not a thing here at NASCAR. Usually we rock with no fast repairs, which is personally my favorite. Wesley, I feel like if you're good enough to jump in this simulator, you're good enough to not to have that fast repair in your back pocket. But here tonight, it could be a different strategy factor, as you mentioned. Maybe you could roll around with a little bit of damage. Maybe you can keep it going to maybe to the end of the race, or keep that in your back pocket for the big one that we're going to have maybe with 10, 15 laps to go. So it's that new strategy factor that's kicked in tonight's race.
Want to apologize to our audience that were thinking that we were going to go live at around 8:50, 9 o'clock Eastern as usual. Tonight was the exhibition race, not that many laps for the Talladega 100, and the decision was made to go live at 9:30. There was also a driver's meeting that actually I attended. Adam Flieger, I know he attended, and a lot of new rules and new things that are be coming along the way for the new season for the NASRA DSR electric truck series beginning next week, as a matter of fact. And the Clash is going to be at one of my favorite racetracks across America, William Tiller. We're going to the home of what used to be NASCAR Speedway Thunder when it started at Suzuka in Japan for a couple of years. Then it moved to Twin Ring Motegi. Very popular for, of course, Formula One, but also IndyCar racing. A couple of years they ran the NASCAR Preseason Thunder there as well, and that is where we will be for the Clash of the NASRA DSR Electric Series next Monday night, bud, 9 p.m. Eastern Time from Twin Ring Motegi. It'll be a good one.
Oh, definitely. And those Clash races are definitely exciting. And Wesley, what I love about those early races is that you get to see some early indicators of what it's going to be like during that regular season. The Clash race, yeah, it's a fun race. These drivers are going to race for some cash, though. That's what we do here at NASRA. We pay out some cash money to these drivers every single week here. And in that Clash race, we're going to pay out as well. And I think, Wesley, gives these drivers an opportunity to really warm up, to really lock in, to know, okay, the season's just around the corner. After this, now I got Clash races, and then the start of the season's only 2 weeks away. So I just love this time of the year to kick off the season.
Don't forget to join us, of course. Actually, I made a mistake. I believe that, no, actually they changed it up. The NASRA qualifiers will be for Daytona. That means there will be qualifying for the race next Monday night. I don't know if we're going to broadcast that or not. It might be a good idea to do that because, William, if you remember, as we get ready to come back for a restart, we did that NASRA special events program back in October or September, actually, is what it was. And we had a night where it was qualifying night. Brady, myself, Tyler Dittmer was in the broadcast booth, and we actually did qualifying. We interviewed every driver that we could. We highlighted every driver, single truck qualifying, and I don't know if that's something that they're planning on doing next Monday night. But I also do know that the Twin Ring Motegi is where the NASRA Clash will be next Monday night as well, so we'll find out about that. Then we go into the duels on November 20th, then the big race at Daytona on November the 27th. And by the way, 22 weeks of racing, William Tiller, and it all culminates May 6th, 2024 at Charlotte.
Absolutely. Time flies when you're having fun, Wesley. This season is going to go by in a flash. You got to stay locked in. You got to stay tuned. Go jump on over to those social media pages. Follow your favorite driver, Wesley. We've been hearing from the fans. You know, sometimes family members are pulling for other drivers here in these series. So watch out here. Your favorite driver could be taking home the checkered flag.
Ready for the field to come back to the Geico restart zone. That'll wrap up a serve pro caution, and we still got a long way left to go in this event as the field gets ready to come to the line. Green flag goes back in the air on lap number 6 when they come to the starter's box. Adam Newton through the gearboxes. He'll pick up speed. It'll take about a lap or so for these trucks to get up to full song. Brian Chu with DSR Electric on the front hood of his truck 51. He'll go to the number 2 spot. He's going to battle with Sisk on flank. Stiers, Doucette, top 5, back to 1.
There on the bottom, we already have a pod coming off of the corner here. Down the backstretch, Wesley, they're going at it there. There's Joey Stiers there in that 23 machine. He's one of those rookies that I talked about that had a great run last year. As we head into the corner, we're single file on the low side.
Working the racetrack down to the bottom of the racetrack to turn number 3. Newton now gets a little wiggle there from Chu. Stiers will follow in tow. So will Doucette. Meanwhile, bottom of the racetrack, top 6, top 7 single file. Outside lane with Sis trying to get something started off 4.
We're Snake, that Nokia Snake game on the low side of the racetrack here down the front stretch. It is clean cooking there across that start-finish line. Wesley, 8 laps into this race, only 1 caution so far.
Field works back off into the corner. It's going to be Adam Newton. He'll stay into the bottom of the double yellow line on the bottom of the racetrack. Everyone else now starts to climb the banking. Here comes now Chew. He gets a shot to the left rear quarter panel on the leader, Newton. He can't clear him. Doucette closes in. Here comes Sisk on the outside. They'll power their way to the Alabama Super Gang straightaway, going to 3.
As our leader's looking in his mirror, he says, who is that guy? As Caleb Sisk is coming on the high side of the racetrack there. He's dabbing in the middle. He feels it, though, on the top side. He's going to get a great run off of 4 here. Let's see if it'll be enough to challenge for the lead. Coming out on the front stretch here, Wesley, we're side by side for the race lead through the front stretch. As we come up to that Geico restart zone, start-finish line, our leader stays put. That's Adam Newton taking us into 1.
And that's almost the top 20 trucks right there in a pack behind one another. Adam Newton leads the cavalry. He is the conductor on the bottom of the racetrack. Sisk up on the top shelf. He's got company now with Brian Chew, Dittmer, Stiers, Doucette. Here comes Hunter Poston, another new name, and Hunter Parsons, a name we know, cracking the top 10 going to 3.
Be a tongue twister all season. Parson and Poston, both hunters here in this race. As we're still side by side for the race lead, I do feel a caution coming around the corner, though. Wesley, we're getting very, very close to one another here as we come off of 4.
35 laps, that's the distance. 3 chances at overtime if need be. No stage breaks. All this goes on in the, of course, all-star event. This exhibition run at Talladega. The recruitment race for the new NASCAR Sim Racer Hub. Now, DSR Electric Truck Series. They go back into corner number 1. Newton stays to the inside. Stu will follow. Sisk on the outside trying to get something started as they work into 2.
Newton still on the low side of the racetrack. Bringing Brian Chew with him there. Wesley, as the low side of the racetrack, looks as though it's the fast side of the racetrack so far, but Sis has a big run there on the top side. Coming off of 2, we're going to be side by side for the race lead into 3 and 4. Wesley, this race is just heating up here as he hit the apex of 3 and 4.
Here comes the regular season champion of last year, Tyler Dittmer. New colors on the Toyota number 45. He now goes to 6th. 5th. He's up to 4th. He's now looking for the lead on Newton and Sisk as they work through the drive. Coming to the line.
Can Sisk get it done here at the line? They're side by side. Sisk will lead that lap. He will need a push, though, if he wants to take over the lead into 1 and 2. He is trying to get to the low side of the racetrack to throw that block on Newton. He keeps drifting into that middle lane there, Wesley, as we're off of 2, side by side for the lead.
And the champ is here. Brady LaBeouf goes to the top shelf of the racetrack. He's got help with Richards. Now he's got to get on the binders and check up. Trucks go to the outside lane. Back to the bottom of the middle lane. All this goes on, and guess what? We're 3 by 3 again as they do-si-do into 3 and 4.
Somebody got the memo on the top side of the racetrack that our champ, the champ is here. The 24 machine of Brady LaBeouf, trying to use some of that Bayou energy that he used to win that championship, trying to use it here tonight to show, again, who is boss as he goes by the boss man as we come across that start-finish line.
Oh, it's scampering chaos and mayhem virtually going back into the turn. Now, Caleb Sisk to the lead. Not for long. Newton powers back to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll carry with the machine of Chew. Dittmer in the middle lane behind Sisk. Also in that mix is also Dittmer, LaBeouf, Richards, Stiers, Posted, Tribune. They're almost 3 by 3. The top 10 R's. Here comes the outside lane, and Parsons to the lead in the 3.
As the field comes thundering by the camera here in the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. What a shot it is here as we're on top of the safer barrier wall here down the front stretch. We're 3 by 3 by 3 all the way around the racetrack. We have a 3-wide battle for the lead across that start-finish line.
And while all that goes on, there is still a lot of slicing and dicing going on throughout the rest of the pack as well. New leader, the champion.